Hello everyone, this is lecture number 53 in Environmental Engineering 2. So, in today's lecture, we will learn about a preliminary, primary, secondary treatment for the industrial wastewater as per the CPCB norms. CPCB norms means Central Pollution Control Board. Okay, they have one norms which is about industrial wastewater, about its treatment. So in today's lecture, we will see in overall process of a industrial wastewater treatment plant. This is lecture number third, unit number 6. Okay, in previous two lecture we already discussed about equalization, proportion, then neutralization, sampling, graph sampling, composite sampling, all the terms which we learned in previous two lectures. And this is the lecture number third of unit number 6, which will related to the treatment process of industrial waste as per the CPCB norms. So in this lecture, we will see preliminary treatment process, primary and the secondary treatment for the industrial wastewater as per the CPCB norms, that is Central Pollution Control Board's norms. Okay. In this lecture, particularly, you know that this is a typical water treatment plant, that is a wastewater treatment plant actual. So in overall subject, we learn in all the units about overall process of a wastewater treatment plant, particularly preliminary, primary, secondary, tertiary, as well as in this last unit, which we will be talking about a wastewater treatment plant also. So in a generally wastewater treatment plant, you can see here this is a bar screen. Generally, influent. This is the arrowhead mentioned that influent. That means the wastewater came into the plant. First, that goes through the bar screen. Then it goes into the grid chamber. After grid chamber, it goes into the primary settling tank. Then activated sludge biological treatment plant. Then final setting, and last one is a chlorination dose, that is a tertiary treatment. But in a primary settling tank, the disposal or the sludge which is goes through into the sludge digestion, and the final setting sludge which is going to sludge thickening. After that, it goes into sludge digestion, and it can be used for the agricultural purpose of this sludge. This is overall or a typical wastewater treatment plant generally used in every wastewater treatment plant, everywhere in a wastewater treatment plant. So, in a typical wastewater treatment plant, mostly we will focus on what the water goes through in the four stages. First is the preliminary stages. In the preliminary treatment, there are the two units. One is the bar screen, and the second one is the grid chamber. So these two units already been discussed in unit number first as well in unit number second in detail. What are the working, what are the objective of bar screen chamber and bar screen, which type of bar can be used. We learn in unit number first and second also. Then we discuss about, or we learn about the grid chamber, how to design it, what are the principle of the grid chamber, how does it work on, how to design a grid chamber, we learn about it. The both unit which is related to the preliminary treatment plant. Then after that, there are the primary settling. In the primary settling, there will be a primary settling tank, and this is a part of pre-treatment, primary treatment, which is under the primary settling tank. Okay, so already we discussed or we learn about the settling tank uh, in the unit number 2, how to work on primary settling tank, how to design its settling tank, primary settling tank, as well as overall. That is a part of primary treatment. Okay. Then in the secondary treatment, that is very important. It's a soul of a treatment plant, any wastewater treatment plant. So there will be two unit again: activated sludge biological treatment plant, and second is a final settling. Okay. So these two are we already discussed unit number 3 and 4 also in detail. What are the activated sludge process, how is it work on with microorganism, bacteria, all types of bacteria. Then after activated sludge, there will again one settling tank. It's a part of second treatment plant. And the last one is that is a tertiary treatment plant, which is related to disinfection. After water or the influent came through this preliminary, primary, and secondary, then it will be give the doses or impact the doses of the chlorination for the bacterial infection. Okay, these are this general stage of wastewater treatment plant: preliminary, primary, secondary, and disinfection nothing but as a tertiary. Okay, it can be also tertiary treatment, remove the nutrients and other pollutant also. There I mentioned here. So in details, you know that these four stage, preliminary, primary, second and tertiary, which is related to the wastewater treatment process. Okay. So what stage, what we can be do, or what type of treatment is going on in the particular wastewater treatment plant? In the preliminary, you can see here, in the preliminary stage, a removal of organic matter by the physically. Okay, that means a screening, certainly screening floating matter which can be removed for the preliminary. In the primary, removal of suspended solids. It may lead to chemical and the physical also. Then the secondary stage, and with the removal of the organic matter by the biologically, that means activated sludge portion. And the stage number fourth and last stage, that is removal of pathogens and the nutrients, that is in terms of what chemical, pathochemical or the biological. Okay, so it can be removed. These four stage, or sorry, this four stage included of what type of removal content which I mentioned here. So in a preliminary treatment, removal of wastewater constituent such as rats, stick, floatable grit, and the grease that may be caused maintenance of operational problem with the treatment operation process and the ancillary of systems. Okay, mostly in preliminary treatment plant मध्ये जे रॅक स्टिक किंवा फ्लोटिंग मटेरियल असतात ते काढून टाकण्याचं काम preliminary treatment मध्ये केलं जातं किंवा होतं. ओके, now, in a preliminary treatment, which is focused on what? Preliminary treatment consists of following units. First, that is screen chamber, which is work on for removal of floating matter. Then grid chamber, which is under the preliminary treatment, which mostly focus on the removal of sand and the grit. Then communitors, which is for grinding large size of suspended solid. Then floating units for removal of the oils and the grease. The skimming tank, then flow measuring units such as the partial flume, then pumps, then pre-aeration unit. This is 7th or 8th types of unit which are under the preliminary treatment. And what unit for what working, what exact unit work for the what, or what types of contaminant can be removed from the particular unit, as I mentioned here in the preliminary treatment. मोस्टली प्रिलिमिनरी ट्रीटमेंटमध्ये कोणकोणत्या प्रकारचे युनिट असतात ऑलरेडी आय मेन्शन हिअर, आणि कोणत्या युनिटमधनं काय काढू शकतो किंवा काय निघून जाऊ शकतं, काय वर्किंग प्रोसेस आहे त्याचं ऑलरेडी इथे मेन्शन केलेलं आहे. स्क्रीनिंगमधनं जे काही फ्लोटिंग टाईपचे मटेरियल ते निघून जाऊ शकतात, ग्रीड चेंबरमधनं जे काही सँड आणि ग्रीड असेल ते काढू शकतात, फ्लोटिंग युनिट्स आणि स्किमिंगमध्ये युनिटमधनं जे काही ऑइल आणि ग्रीस असतात ते निघून जाऊ शकतं. देन फ्लो मेजरिंग टाईपचे युनिट्स असतात, देन पंप्स असतात, प्री एरेशन युनिट्स असतात. दॅट इज पार्ट ऑफ द प्रिलिमिनरी ट्रीटमेंट. Then primary treatment. Mostly primary treatment, which is working related to the removal of portion of a suspended solid and the organic matter from the wastewater. In the primary treatment मध्ये पर्टिक्युलरली जो काही पोर्शन असतो सस्पेंडेड सॉलिड्स आणि ऑर्गॅनिक मॅटरचा तो काढून टाकला जातो किंवा तो रिमूव्ह करण्यासाठीच मोस्टली प्रायमरी ट्रीटमेंटची प्रोसेस यूज केली जाते. In the primary treatment, it consists of the following process or unit. So in the first process or unit, that is sedimentation, and that is related to primary settling tank. Then coagulation, which is related to secondary settling tank, and the flocculation. These three processes, which is related to the primary settling and the secondary settling tank, it is under the primary treatment, which is under the primary treatment. So in the secondary treatment process or stage, there will removal of biodegradable organic matter, that is insoluble or suspension state, and the suspended solids, that is disinfection, is also typical included in the definition of conventional secondary treatment. Okay, in the particular secondary treatment process or stage, they remove the biodegradable organic matter, but that is in form of insoluble or a suspended state. Okay, mostly secondary stage मध्ये remove biodegradable organic जे मॅटर असतात ते काढून टाकल्या जातात, पण त्याचे जे काही असते स्टेट किंवा स्टेज जे असते त्यांची सॉल्युबल स्टेजमध्ये असतात. And mostly disinfection also typically included in the definition of the conventional secondary treatment plant. Okay, this is stage number second, secondary treatment. So in the secondary treatment process or the wastewater applications for the aeration system, biological treatment system, sludge and the biosolid processing system. Then secondary treatment consists of following process. particular secondary treatment process having the activated sludge process, then oxidation pond and the lagoons, and the trickling filters. Okay, so these three unit already we learn in unit number 3 and the 4th also. Okay, so this is what a secondary treatment stage, which we are the process of wastewater for particular aeration, biological treatment, and the sludge and the biosolid processing system. Okay, is that clear? Okay, in the secondary treatment process, the stabilization pond and the lagoon also one of the parts. The stabilization pond are open flow through the basin, especially designed and constructed to the treat the sewage and the biodegradable industrial waste. Okay, then they provide long detention period extending from the few of several 1 days. Pond system in which the oxygen is provided through the mechanical aeration rather than algal photosynthesis are called as aerated lagoons. Lightly loaded pond used as the tertiary state in which wastewater treatment for the polishing secondary effluent and the removal of the bacteria are called as a maturation pond. Okay, mostly secondary treatment process which include the stabilization pond and the lagoon also. And in particular, I will learn in unit number 5 uh, 5, it's about lagoons, aerated lagoon and the stabilization pond. And there where they, you know that stabilization pond is the open flow through the basin, which where they construct for the sewage treatment, biodegradable industrial waste also. In the process of stabilization pond, which is follow the photosynthesis are called as aerated lagoon. Okay, photosynthesis process इथे जी घडते ओपन चॅनल मध्ये त्याला आपण तो जो का लगून आहे किंवा जो पॉन्ड आहे तो अंडर द सेकंडरी ट्रीटमेंट प्रोसेस मध्ये येतो. Then activated sludge process. In activated sludge process, wastewater containing organic matter is aerated in an aeration basin in which microorganism metabolize and suspended and soluble of organic matter. So you know that in the activated sludge process, the wastewater containing organic matter, okay, is aerated, and that organic matter it mixes the oxygen by the aeration basin in the aeration basin in which microorganism is metabolized, that means utilized after consuming the oxygen through that aeration chamber, and it can be able to degrade the organic matter or suspended matter or soluble matter, organic matters. This is about the activated sludge process. Then next one part in the secondary treatment process, that is trickling filter, that is very important. We learn in unit number 4 also. It's also known as a percolating filter or a sprinkler filter. Trickling filter are used to biological treatment industrial waste which are amenable to aerobic biological process. This will be prevent the clogging of the biofilter settleable solids. A trickling filter or biofilter consists of the basin toward the field of support media which are the stone, plastic, safe or the wooden strut. Mostly trickling filter is the part of the secondary treatment process, okay, and which are be used for the prevent the clogging effect of a filter settleable solid, and that clogging effect which goes through that water or that wastewater goes through the different media, and that media which is made by a stone, plastic, safe or a wooden slat also. Okay, in the trickling filter मध्ये जी काय मेन उद्देश आहे ट्रिकलिंग फिल्टर प्रोव्हाइड करण्याचा वेस्ट वॉटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट मध्ये सेकंडरी ट्रीटमेंट प्रोसेस मध्ये, तो मेन उद्देश आहे की जे काही सॉलिड आहे सेटलेबल सॉलिडचा क्लॉगिंग होऊ नये म्हणून ते प्रोव्हाइड केलं जातं. आणि ट्रिकलिंग फिल्टर मध्ये वेगवेगळ्या टाईपचे मीडिया असतात, लेयर असतात. ते लेयर मोस्टली स्टोन, प्लास्टिक, सेप अशा वेगवेगळ्या मटेरियल पासून ते तयार केलेलं असतात. ओके, दिस इज अबाउट द ट्रिकलिंग फिल्टर. Then tertiary treatment, and this is the last one process in your wastewater treatment plant, that is tertiary treatment. So it mostly work on a remove of a residual suspended solid after secondary treatment burst, but usually by the granular medium filtration or the micro screening. Differentiation is also typical a part of tertiary treatment. Nutrient removal is often included in these definitions. So in the tertiary treatment process, which is working on particularly residual suspended solid, removal of residual suspended solid, and mostly which is work on the nutrient removal often included in the definitions. Tertiary process मध्ये after completion of secondary treatment जे काही इन्फ्लुएंट येतं त्याच्यावर म्हणजे काय क्लोरीन डोसेस दिल्या जात्या किंवा वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचं जे काय रेसिड्युअल सस्पेंडेड सॉलिड काढण्यासाठी जी प्रोसेस केमिकल डोसेस दिला जातं तो अंडर द टर्शियरी ट्रीटमेंट प्रोसेस मध्ये येतो. So in the tertiary treatment process, okay, what types of application to be used? In the process, chlorination and ozonation, it for destruction of the pathogen and the chemical oxidation of the organic matter. Mostly tertiary treatment मध्ये क्लोरिनिंग ओझोनेशन किंवा अल्ट्राव्हायोलेट रेचा यूज केला जातो आणि त्याच्यामधून डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ पॅथोजन आणि केमिकल ऑक्सिडेशन जे ऑर्गॅनिक मॅटर असते ते काढून टाकले जातात, त्याच्यासाठी काढल्या जातात. देन इन द टर्शरी देर आर ऑल्सो फिल्ट्रेशन. There will be media, ultraviolet rays, ultrafiltration microphase, then nano for removal of suspended solid and organic matter. Then reverse osmosis, in which that recovery of water for the recovery of water for reuse. Okay. Then evaporation, it for reduce the volume of zero discharge. Then post aeration, to increase the dissolved oxygen concentration is treated wastewater before discharge to the recover of the seas. This is about the tertiary treatment process in the tertiary stage. So these are some pictures which is about industrial wastewater. By physically you can see this color is a red or and this is a black brown color of that industrial waste, through which that we can easily characterize by physically, chemically and biologically. Okay, so this is ending of lecture. So in today's lecture, what we learn about a stage of wastewater treatment plant: preliminary, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Included what process involved in the each stage, as well as what you need under the each stage. We learn in details. So this subject already we learn in details, preliminary to tertiary of wastewater treatment plant. So thank you.